and welcome to it. It is the Ace Micheals Show.
Yow.
That's it, baby. That's all you get for free. Y'all want the rest? It's $19.95. You got to go and pay that for that. Hey, if you ever want to be on the show, please do. We'd love to have you. Be on the show. Speak your mind. Voice your opinions. Get your comments out there. Your ideas, suggestions, beliefs, dreams.
Recipes.
This is the way to do it. Today
Jokes.
on the show, my guest is my best friend in Las Vegas. I love this guy to death. I really do. Love this guy. Shawn Eiferman is on the show today. Mr. Vegas guy. That Vegas guy.
That Vegas guy.
Show today.
What's that up, Vegas guy?
And
how are you?
And he's always got a beard. It's not that you always are sporting like a little hairy face.
I do. I do. The queen of my castle prefers a little facial hair, even though it's I've got my wisdom whiskers now.
Yes, you do.
It's a little gray.
You look a little like Russell Crowe.
I get that a lot.
I thought I had called Russell Crowe by accident. I was like, oh, snap.
I get that. When I play basketball, the boys I play ball with all call me Gladiator.
That's what it is.
I'll take it all day long.
Nice.
What, you want to tell me that I look like a movie star? Yes.
Right, exactly that. Yes.
Like your ugly cousin back home, I might call you on it.
Now, speaking of movie stars, Shawn, have you been in the entertainment business your whole life? You've been performing for life?
Forever.
Yeah.
15 years old. First time I ever got paid to make noise with my mouth hole in a guitar, I was 15 years old.
Really?
And I'm 5'0" now. So from 1'5" to 5'0", 35 years. Haven't really had a job. Not really.
But you haven't needed one. So this was clearly what you wanted to do from 15. You said, I'm going to be a musician.
Yeah, I got super lucky. You asked, so I'll make it a quick story. My mom got a grant to go to school anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. And we ended up in London. Oh. And all of a sudden, I'm 14, 15 years old, right there, 1984, 1985, living in England, and found myself, playing a little bit of guitar, and not really knowing what I was doing, but I was walking through Baker Street Station in the heart of London, and there was a girl, there busking, with a guitar and a case open, and people were just throwing money into her guitar case. And I went to go put some money in it, and when I reached into my pocket, a guitar pick fell out. She saw the guitar pick, and she was like, "Do you play?" And I go, "Not well." And she throws the guitar at me, and she goes, "I have to take a piss. Hold my spot." And so all of a sudden, I was stuck there in Baker Street Station in London, 15 years old. I didn't know anything about anything. I started playing a couple, like Twist and Shout, and, the couple of songs that I kind of knew. She came back, and we talked a little bit, played a little bit, and then I started bringing a guitar with me, probably 3-4 days a week, whenever I could, and started making a living playing guitar in Baker Street Station with that girl.
Now, were you making like a real living or like a 15-year-old living? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, were you making bank or?
If I had to think about it, I probably walked. I probably didn't stop busking. There wasn't like a schedule. No one's punching a clock in that situation. I probably didn't stop playing until I made $100, 100 pounds, 100 quid, whatever. Right. So I probably made $100 a day.
Wow. And that's at 15.
Oh, it's great. At 15. And zero complaints. It's funny that I've told this story enough times now where the light bulb popped. Now that it's 2020, there was no Facebook, there's no Twitter, Instagram, no MySpace yet. I don't even know if there was Google in 85, whatever. But I have no idea who that girl is. Like, I don't know her name. You know what I mean? Really the catalyst for my whole music career. One of the big ones, one of the biggest influences of my early adoption into this lifestyle, and I wouldn't know her if she was standing next to me.
And maybe from this, maybe she'll see this, and maybe she'll recognize.
Maybe that'd be the coolest thing ever.
You probably weren't as handsome and wide.
Oh, I was way better looking.
Oh, really? Way better.
Oh, the hair was all I had. Oh man, it was the 80s.
Were you a catch?
I had big. I don't know about that, but I was. Yeah. I mean, I was bangable, but I don't know about. But
right.
I had Do you remember Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister?
Of course. Was that you?
I'm 6 feet tall right now with this haircut. I was like 6'8". I had this big white boy Jew fro. I wish I was joking. When this is all over with, I'll send you a picture too. It was not I don't know if it was a fashion statement as much as it was a fashion risk.
Yeah.
That was a rough hair choice. If it was a choice, I just didn't get a haircut for over a year, and it just went crazy.
Shawn, I got to tell you, I admire you quite a bit. I've never really get to talk to you much because we're in the bar situation, and y'all know I'm in a bar, dog. I ain't talking to Shawn in a bar. Yeah. That's real talk. But no, I really admire you, man, because you have made a jump. It's a very I don't want to say it's risky. Risky is the only word that comes to mind, but that's not the word I want to use. To take your passion and say, I'm going to jump out on this limb and I'm going to do this for life. I'm not going to get a daytime job. I'm going to do this as my daytime job.
Yeah.
I admire that big time, brother. I have always admired that in you, and that you're gigging gig to gig to gig.
When I say I really haven't had a job, I have, and I appreciate the appreciation for that. But to be very on point, I think it's a glitch. I think I'm like an X-Man. I am what I like to call psychologically unemployable.
Yeah.
I just can't cope with a boss and inventory and punching a clock and like all this, like somebody telling me when I can and if I can take a coffee break, and like that whole idea early on in my life. I think, my parents never had jobs. My father owned his own business. My mother, was an opera singer. There was just, I think that was one of the things that they definitely passed on to me in a strange way. To be an early entrepreneur mindset without knowing that it was really entrepreneurial. I just don't do well with the boss.
Yeah. Now, America's going through some great changes right now, which
I've heard
are experiencing. Not just America.
I heard something.
A lot of people are going to have to maybe change their career path when the lights come back on.
Oh,
I mean, would you consider even working like for a music store or anything like that? Are you still going to do your gig? I guess not. I judging by the look on your face.
What? I think you broke up, Ace. I didn't understand that at all. No. No, I mean, it really has been a brainwashing. I mean, think about that. It's been forever. Again, I've tried it. I've dabbled. I have been employed, right? You have to be in a bad relationship to know the value of a good one, right? And which is why I am now happily married and happily quarantined. Dude, we got married like 6 minutes before everybody got in lockdown.
Fly dog.
Oh, we dodged bullets.
Right on time.
But man, if you want to test a marriage, go ahead and get married and then lock yourself in the same house for, what are we at now? 8 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what year it is. But boy, you want to test a marriage. That's a way to do it. And we could not be happier. So I mean, and I'm not saying that because you can maybe hear me. I'm saying that
right.
I will shout that from the rooftops. I am a very lucky man. Yes. We got in at a very interesting time. And I think that ties into what we're talking about. I mean, I don't know that I could ever change the brainwashing, right? And it takes going through those. I had a couple of bosses over the years. High school, I was the first one. I worked at a Coca-Cola bottling company. Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I had a paper route to, because I had to buy my own bike for $8 a month or whatever I made. I mean, I've done it in certain ways. I like to wake up when I'm done sleeping. I think that's a big part. Like 9 to 5 means I got to get up at like 7:30, and that makes my head explode. Like I can't even think of.
Get there. Parking place.
I would rather have sex with a cheese grater than go through any of what you just described. Hey, I didn't ask. I'm obviously watching my language, but are we?
Yeah, we're in a totally uncensored format. So
okay.
if you want to say the fuck word or the F word.
There it is. All right. No, you never know.
You know,
there's people in all through Utah that are probably not going to like anything I have to say.
Now I want to ask you, because I don't know you guys as a couple so much. Are you Jay-Z and Beyonce situation? Like, is your lady also in the music, and you guys working and collaborating on things together?
I think we're. I think we have a mindset of that power couple sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't go Jay-Z and Beyonce. But like, you know, my name is Shawn. Her name is Jax, short for Jacqueline. Uh-huh. And we have done the whole, we are Shax, S-H-A-X, sure. You know, whatever. Just to be cute, not to, you know, there's no pretense there. Again, neither one of us have those checking accounts.
Right. That's part of it, right?
But the partnership side of that, realizing the yin and yang and the power of the differences and the similarities that we both share, I think, aside from, I think, what you started talking about, which is whether or not we both have the musical connection. She loves music, mm-hmm. loves to dance, is very passionate about how she feels about music on a lot of different levels, but is not a musician. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I love the fact that you are a passionate musician, and I love your original music, by the way. Anyone who's watching this who's seen Shawn and doesn't know that Shawn does original music, which is amazing. He's a great original music artist.
I is a songwriter.
Yeah, you're a singer-songwriter. I love that about you. Now, you started this new thing that is kind of tied into the pandemic, but it also was a good idea to do anyway, in my opinion, is you're performing at home, and you kind of have taken the Vegas guy persona and turned it into, you call it the Vegas show, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about
Vegas show.
That Vegas show.
Look, man, I've always seen the vision of the eyeball potential on the web, right? I can sell a sold out concert. If I'm Bon Jovi or Beyonce, I can sell a sold out concert, 30, 50,000 people in a stadium. That's like playing the barbershop at the Cosmo compared to the internet, compared to billions.
Sure.
And so I always thought, man, why isn't Beyonce, this is 10 years ago, 15 years ago, actually, almost exactly 15 years ago, actually. And I say this with some education, it's not my opinion. I was affiliated, not working for, I was affiliated with a company, publicly traded $150 million company that was the first ever to do this. The first ever to have video email instead of text. Video conferencing like Skype and Zoom, video broadcasting like Facebook Live and IGTV and so on. 15 years ago, it was like Star Trek. So you would send me an email from your like AOL account, and I would send you this. I'd send you a video going, Ace, what's going on, man? We're going to meet for lunch tomorrow, right? And blah, blah. So I saw 15 years ago the power of not only the internet, but video and how high tech can merge with high touch, and I got super excited. I made a fair amount of revenue and met a lot of really smart techie type people, and had a passion for all of a sudden this crazy thing. And so I saw that a long time ago and actually started a show called The Open Mic. And The Open Mic 15 years ago was featuring, you know, musicians, singers, songwriters, et cetera, on the web before YouTube, before anything. We didn't have the eyeballs yet that knew how to do it. There wasn't the bandwidth. There were some challenges. I was a little bit ahead of the timeline there. But 6 months later, after I created that show, we started to introduce that technology to Kenny Loggins, Joe Walsh from the Eagles, Hootie and the Blowfish, Edwin McCain, Sister Hazel, a handful of people, including, which I'm a little upset about this, but I'm not. So I created this show format where people could broadcast rehearsal sessions, writing sessions, recording sessions, all on the internet 15 years ago.
And you just named those artists. That was like, you literally just mentioned, like, now that's what I call Music 7 or whatever.
Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame guys. So the thing that was funny, so like everyone went in their own different directions, right? So it was funny, Joe Walsh from the Eagles, all he did was pop open his laptop, and from a hotel room in Boston, he would have a TV show. Right. amazing from his laptop, which for him at 60 something years of age at the time was unbelievable. And it had a chat thread just like Facebook Live. And so people from all over the world would hop on his little TV show to a global audience from his laptop from Boston or wherever. And he would address, questions. He didn't have a guitar. He didn't do any song requests. It was more of a ask, Joe crazy questions. I don't know if you know his personality, but he's quirky. He's really, really funny.
He's a very eccentric guy.
Oh, it was just fantastic to watch. And he would put on his like bifocals. The bass player, Timothy B. Schmidt, came in on one of those shows for the Eagles, and they both put on their bifocals. And somebody in the chat thread said a joke, do you guys both have your AARP cards? And they read it, because they looked old. All of a sudden you put those on, your little readers or whatever, and I don't care who you are, you look old. Anyway, it was the funniest thing he did on any of the shows he did. They both pulled out their AARP cards. They actually had them. It was priceless. It was so funny. But hey, so I saw all of this a long, long time ago, and I still believe that between what I'm doing right now, which is shows in my bathroom, no joke, because the lighting is great, it sounds good, and whatever. I don't need a studio. And believe it or not, I'm not even using my laptop in there. My phone looks and sounds better. Yeah. So all I need is a phone and the internet, and I have my own TV show to a global audience.
You were performing on the street. Now you're performing in your bathroom. So
exactly right. And from my bathroom, I am reaching people currently Australia, South Africa, Canada, like the list goes on, and booking stuff. This is crazy now. You want to talk about the paradigm shift? Two things have popped up. Now all of a sudden, I'm doing some corporate bookings. I'm actually making my normal fee that I would get for performing, traveling. It's my normal fee from my bathroom.
Right.
To the single largest healthcare provider in all of Nevada. Just booked me for 2 shows, one in May, one in June, from my bathroom.
Right.
I've done one for the biggest dispensary, medical marijuana dispensary in San Francisco on 420 from my bathroom.
Right.
And then it's evolved also into these crazy singing telegrams. I started, somebody, people ask every once in a while, hey, can you sing happy birthday to my mom? Send me a little video. I'd really love it. And I'll Venmo you $20.
Sure.
And it takes 15 seconds. So I started doing that years ago. And now in this climate, it's a business model. I'm making more money singing Happy Mother's Day this week. I'm not joking, by the way. Leading up to Mother's Day, I will send out more 30-second videos of me saying, hey, Mrs. Micheals, Ace wanted me to send you a little Happy Mother's Day thing that's a little different. I hope you like it. And I would sing Happy Mother's Day and send.
Wow.
That's my new paradigm,
So is this the future, Shawn? Is this the new music business? Do you think it's that big?
So I hope, it's funny you say it that way. I hope it's part of it. Ace, I really do. You know what's missing in the music business is that personal touch. No artist I know that tours wants to do a meet and greet because people go, oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Bon Jovi, right? Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody. So there's no person. So that's going away.
Please,
that's gone.
Thank you.
The overhead, if you are a level D group, artist, whatever, level D, we're not talking about Beyonce. We're talking about, whatever. People that you might not even recognize. And you're looking at management, lawyers, a record label, maybe, a booking agent on top of the other stuff. Then you look at travel expenses, et cetera, et cetera. The overhead of being a musician at that working level is something that needed to be taken a look at when you could have been doing this the whole time. And
it's really amazing. Yeah. It's really
and so I think it will shift because one, travel's restricted, but again, the contact, but man, I'm telling you, if I'm on a broadcast, there were, I think 2,500 people on my bathroom webcast last night. At a 2,500 views or whatever you want to call that. you know, I can only read so many of them while I'm in the middle of a song. When I do, it's pretty funny. When I am trying to multitask and I'll be playing something and I'll read something that's a little off color or a request for a song that's goofy or whatever, I thought I was better at the multitasking. I screw up the song. Even when it's like my song, I should know the damn song. It's really funny. So hang on a second. I have to let somebody know that I'm doing this.
Sure.
And
while you're doing that, think about this next question, because I want to ask you about something about $10,000.
Yeah.
What's up with that? What up with that? What up with that?
We, man, so yeah, as soon as all this happened, as soon as all of it happened, I went into the bathroom and because so many people, so many, as you can imagine, all of a sudden on the web, we're like, oh man, immediately it just said, I'm broke, I'm out of work, I don't have any gigs, this is shut down and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I just thought, you know, and I don't want to sound whatever, I'm definitely not Bill Gates, but 6 businesses, well, five technically businesses running out of this home office here prior, except for just me playing music. There's a bunch of other things where we've got our paws in. And so I wasn't like immediately broke. And so I started thinking, well, what can I do to be part of the solution?
Right.
You know? And so I just immediately thought, well, I've seen a couple people that are like, here's my Venmo. You know what I mean? Here's send me money. That's what I saw. And I go, you know what? I really believe this with all my heart. I think if you help enough people get what they want, you will in turn get what you want. I really believe that.
I agree.
And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do the exact same thing these guys are all doing and put the one little spin on it and see if I can help some people. And sure enough, Ace, I wish I was exaggerating, maybe 3 of those shows, whatever you want to call it, in the can, literally. That was funny. You know what? People started asking me, Teriyaki Madness, the Rojas Group, like companies that are busy right now during all of this, said, hey, can I sponsor your show if you'll let people know that that Team Teriyaki Madness is still open and available for drive up and delivery. And, you know, the Tom Rojas with the Rojas Group marketing company was like, hey, if I give you $100 a show with all the people that are watching your show, will you mention that I will, you know, I do websites and SEO and marketing and like, yeah, I'll do that. So all of a sudden I started sending money to musicians, playing, you know, which is good for me. It gave me a little purpose in my day. And quite frankly, it's hard not to play. It's a hard habit to break. So that was cool. Win, win, win. And then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 shows into it, which I was doing 2 a day, all of a sudden started putting some pesos in my piggy bank. Right. With this sponsorship thing. And then it really became all the boats rising with the tide. So I didn't know that we were going to get to $10,000 in a month. That's a lot of money for just people, you know, watching me butcher tunes in my downstairs bathroom. But we did it. We did it. And again, we sent $300 each to 33 musicians in Vegas. And the beautiful thing about that is everyone nominated somebody else. And 6 of those musicians out of 33, I've never heard of in my life. I never met them, don't have them on Facebook, no nothing. And so that was probably the biggest aha moment, really heartfelt, cool thing, is that all of a sudden, like strangers were getting $300, you know, Venmo'd to them or whatever. And they were like, what happened? Yeah. And then they got a hold of me and started, like, a couple of them, you know, teared up, and oh, it's powerful. It's great. The humanity, I think, of it. And again, that goes back to what I was really answering the first question. I just get a little long-winded. I apologize. Is that the new future, I think, needs to include this personal touch. I don't care if I'm Bob Dylan. Yeah. Right? One of the first people that I saw do this was Neil Young. And if you're a Neil Young fan, and all of a sudden, once a month, Neil Young was going to do a pay-per-view all request show from his living room, dude,
yeah,
it's over. You'll pay whatever the fee is. And so what if you charged $100?
Let me
Right?
ask you this, Shawn, do you consider yourself successful as a music artist in life? If it had,
Brother, I wake
to
up when I'm done sleeping. Every day of my life. Done. I'm done. I do what I love to do all my life since I'm 15 years old. I'm the most grateful. I don't know if success is the right word because people define that in a lot of different ways. But I think I'm the most fortunate guy I know.
Hey.
Now, mind you, I got to say this. My dad, who, just for the record, is a Hall of Fame bodybuilder. He won Mr. America in 1948, Mr. Universe in 62. He was kind of a big deal back in the day. He, on the back of his business card for 40 years, said, I'm a firm believer in luck because the harder I've worked, the luckier I've been. And so, yes, I feel grateful. I feel successful. I'm happy and healthy, and 10 fingers, 10 toes. But man, I've worked my ass off to get here. I mean, I don't believe there's a book. You can't learn shit from a book you don't read. You can't get anything out of a webinar or a seminar or a workshop you don't go to. I have been a sponge. I've had a thirst for knowledge to improve all day, every day of most of my life. A little bit, too much at times. My expectations of other people have gotten me into, unfortunate situations at times because of that. But I'm happy. I can't change how other people.
And that is what's up. Where do we catch that Vegas show? What's the frequency? What's the buzz on it? How do we follow?
You know what? So it's May 1st today. I talked to somebody 2 days ago from Golden Gaming, who owns all the PT's pubs in Vegas, the Stratosphere Casino, SG up in Summerlin. Steve Arcana and those guys with Golden Gaming own a lot of venues here in town. And they saw what was going on. Steve's been on a couple of broadcasts, not to drop a name, but that's who we're talking. Anyway, long answer to a short question. There's nothing on the schedule right now except for some of those corporate gigs. Like I mentioned, that healthcare provider. And other than that, it's just random. But 2 days ago, the sponsorship conversation came up, and they said, if you want to do like one show a day through all of May, we'll Venmo you X amount of dollars for every show, just to let everybody knows that watches your shows that, again, we are, these locations are open for delivery and all that stuff. And so if that happens, I'm doing a show every day.
And there you go.
But right now, it's whenever the spirit hits me. The studio's set up 24/7. The bathroom,
right?
The bathroom's ready to go.
And sometimes I'm sure that particular studio is off limits. You can't go in that studio.
Oh no. The business side, the business side of the monkey business stuff that I do in there is still fully accessible.
Nice.
You can wash your hands. You can do it.
It's the Ace Michael Show, man. My guest today is Shawn Eiferman. We always have to deal with time. Time is never on our side. But, man, it's always great to speak with you, Shawn. So if we want to go get you on Facebook, we go Shawn Eiferman, or we go to that Vegas guy, or both.
Yes, both. Yeah, that Vegas guitar guy came up because, look, Ace Michaels, beautiful. Well done, by the way. Shawn Eiferman, how do you spell Shawn? I don't know, as S-E-A-N, S-H-A-U-N, you know what I mean? Eiferman, come on, I misspell Eiferman every once in a while. How do you pronounce it? So after so long, and because of my dad's background, I didn't want to change my last name. Early 90s, I had a handful of those type of people, the suits in the music business, be like, you need a stage name, and it should be Shawn Dean, S-E-A-N-D-E-A-N. Go by Shawn Dean.
Huh.
Obviously didn't go that route, but 1,000 years later, conversation comes up all the time. Like, how do you pronounce your last name? How do you spell your first name? But then so many people would come back to town and go, hey, I couldn't find you. And I'm so glad we ran back to the same place we saw you at last trip, because we were back home in Akron, Ohio before the show. And we were like, hey, we got to find that Vegas guitar guy we saw last time we were in town. And I didn't make up the nickname. I heard like 15, 20 people say it almost just like that, like they had a script.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe I should follow the lead there.
Yeah.
And that's how that came about. So I have both. You can go to thatvegasguitarguy.com and it goes to ShawnEiferman.com. You can go on Facebook and type in That Vegas Guitar Guy. I have a fan page with like 8 people on it. Because
8 fans.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it.
That's right.
But I've got 5,000 friends on my Shawn Eiferman Facebook. So, I mean, there's no wrong way to do it. Google, you know, all of it. Hell, I've still even got a MySpace page.
And that is what.
Don't judge me. I still have.
It is the Ace Micheals Show, That Vegas Guitar Guy. And sometimes Vegas Guitar Guy in the bathroom playing music.
Shawn in the John. Last night's show we called Shawn in the John.
I like that. Hold on now. Shawn in the John, not to be used. Okay, yeah, we got to make sure that doesn't get out.
Right.
Shawn in the John. I can see that on T-shirts. Hey, man, Ace Micheals Show. My guest, Shawn Eiferman. We're out of time. But you know what I say at the end of every show? I didn't make it up. Bob Marley did. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you, guys.
Amen. Thanks, Ace.
That was great, Shawn. Thank you.